2563, and a war by the name of the Fallen has destroyed most of the Earth. We begin the movie with a scientist by the name of Dr. Ito, who was played by Christopher Waltz, as he is searching through the junkyards in Iron City, and he stumbles upon a female cyborg head. He then takes the cyborg back to his lab, and it thus fixes her and gives her a brand new body and renames her Alita after his dead daughter. Alita, played by Rosa Salazar, has no recollection of who she was in her previous life, and with the help of Dr. Ito and her love interest, Hugo, played by Kareem Johnson, Alita must now find out who she was in her past life, in the midst of dealing with the horrible tragedies and harsh realities of this new world in Iron City, where the strong prey on the weak. Also, while fighting the nemesis Vector, played by Mahershala Ali, and Nova, played by Edward Norton. I love doing movie reviews, but I don't like the beginning parts of giving you the gist of it, because I don't want to give you guys too much and give you too little. So, but with this said, I actually love this movie. I thought this movie had everything that I wanted and more. Now, it's been getting a lot of mixed reviews because if you do not know, Alita Battle Angel is based off the 1990 manga. It's actually called Gummin. If I say it right, it's Gunnm. I may have pronounced it wrong, but it was by Hito Kashiro, if I said his name correctly. But he was the creator of it. And actually, James Cameron produced this movie. And he's actually been sitting on this script for almost 20 years. It was told to him by Guillermo del Toro, who a lot of you might know from the director of Hellboy or Pan's Labyrinth. He actually told him about this back in the early 90s when he actually kind of bought the rights to it, and he's been sitting on it ever since. But just like Avatar, he wanted the technology to catch up so he can actually bring this movie to life, which he actually did. And directed by Robert Rodriguez, who is one of my favorite directors, who directed one of my favorite movies of all time, Sin City. If you have not seen Sin City, you need to see it. It is a must-watch. It's a classic, a cult icon, if you ask me. That's just my personal opinion on it. I just thought it was beautifully done, and for him to bring his style to this movie, I loved his touch, because not only did he did Sin City, but Desperado from way back in the day, to Spy Kids. So he's done these technological kind of movies with high technological advances and action. So I thought he was a great choice for this movie. But the things in this movie that a lot of people may not come in grips with is that they throw a lot at you in this movie. And to me, I thought everything was paced well, because if you really think about it, from my understanding, I've never seen the manga, or I've seen a little bit of the the TV show. Excuse me, like a little bit of the movie on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description. It's like 55 minutes, and from my understanding, like, they have it right on the T. Dr. Ito's character, Rosa Salazar's character, Hugo, like everyone that's in this movie that adapted from the anime is like directly on point. From the weapons, the action, and actually the anime is a lot more bloodier than this version, because it is PG-13, which isn't like a bad thing. Like, it didn't have to be rated R. I'm glad they did make it rated R. It's a lot of things to deal with that they dealt with in this movie that it's going to be hard for a lot of people to come in grips with, because the anime is, the manga is like four volumes, if I'm not mistaken. So they almost give you 4 different volumes in a 2-hour movie. So you have to deal with a kind of like, not to give too much away, but you have to deal with a serial killer situation, her becoming a bounty hunter, Motorball, and then her fighting these villains, Vector and Nova. So they give you a lot to deal with in this movie. But to me, it's a 2-hour movie, and to me, it's paced out actually quite well. They try to cram a lot in this 2 hours, but to me, like I said, I think they cram enough in there where you're not overwhelmed. To me, this movie could have been like 2 hours and 30 minutes longer. Like 2 hours and 30 minutes if the running time is 2 hours. But I love the part of the motorball. The motorball I thought was just visually stunning to watch. Motorball is a game that they play in the movie, which is pretty much like the biggest sport for that world. It's the basketball, the football, the world, and it's almost like a death match with pretty much death match in the skating ring. I'll put some clips in so you guys show. But showing that motorball scenes or was just beautiful. Like, I just loved this, and the technology that they used in this movie was just as well as it did for Avatar. I got to see a screening of it, and afterwards we stayed behind and saw some of the HD movements that they used, the motion capture movements that they used to put on their face. She had like 2 HD cameras. Alita Rosa had 2 HD cameras in front of her face with all the motion sensors on her, so they can get this realistic look. And to me, they just did such an amazing job in this movie, as far as the graphics. You know, and a lot of people were kind of thrown off because this movie was like a love story, even though, you know, they were like, as a cyborg, which her character Alita was a cyborg, and Hugo, who is human. You know, they kind of had a love interest, but a lot of people kind of like, and my friends they weren't like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. But I mean, it's in the manga, it's in the anime. Like, you have to put this in. You can't just leave that out. That was an important part of this anime, was the love story. And that, to me, that's what I liked about this movie. It had everything. It had action, suspense, love story, you know, everything you needed in a potential action based genre movie. You know, I think they hit it on the head perfectly. It's getting about, like I said, a lot of mixed reviews, but stunning wise, this movie is visually stunning. Like, if you don't go see this movie for anything else, you have to just go see it for the graphics. I hate to say just go see it just for the graphics, but the graphics are that beautiful where it's worth the price of admission to go see it. So I don't want to give you away any spoilers because I'm really not like a spoil giveaway, but let me know who has seen this movie, and what did you guys think if you did see this movie. To me, I loved it. Like, I've seen it twice already. I went with my friends last night to go see it. They're anime lovers, and they didn't care too much about it. But my other friend, she thought it was good. So I personally, like I said, I like this movie. I recommend people go see it, especially if you're an anime lover. And that's another good thing I love about how they did for this movie. This is good for anime. Now, what we're on the cusp of is if they can bring out movies like this and do it justice, as far as the adaptation going from, you know, the page to the big screen. We're not that far away from Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, you know, some of our really favorite animes that we really want to see in live action. Attack on Titan, you know, that's why I think a lot of people should really go support these movies. To me, this anime genre is the next big element to the movies, next to, such as, you know, Captain Marvel's, Captain America's, the Avengers. To me, the next step is anime, if it is done correctly like it's done now. But nevertheless, I love the steps that they're taking towards this anime. I would love to see more of my favorite anime movies in the big screen. So, like I said, guys, as always, please subscribe, and please leave me some comments. Tell me what you thought about this movie, or tell me what other big adaptations of anime would you like to see come to the big screen. I know a lot of people are going to say Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Attack on Titan. I would love to see those as well, but I think that's why we kind of need to go support this movie, so we can bring more anime movies that we loved to the big screen. So, as always, guys, to the next movie, I will holler at you guys later. It's the movie X Kicks Us Out.